Okay, dudes. We're on another journey across the way. We arranged transportation. It took 2 years to get this transportation for disabled people. Apparently because we were too fucking disabled, but oh, be quiet and be good. Yo Horengekyo, quit acting like that. And it looks like one of you is caught in a cage. That's not good. In a cage, inside of there. They're in a cage. They're probably just fine. Shit, that's what I'm learning. I'm not too keen on those neighbors right now. I'm kind of pissed at them, but because they called the police, and so did I, on an altercation between me and Darren, and they kind of interfered with it, trying to break it up, which was, like passively interfering, and I mean, I get it, but the thing that really bugs me about that is that just about a week ago, they were yelling and screaming and fighting with each other over there themselves. And I was like, that happens every time. But anyway, and I'm always smelling marijuana coming from over there. Which, I don't care if they smoke marijuana, but here's what it comes down to. Don't be jerks. So I don't even know if they were jerks or not, to be honest. I'm not understanding life. Help me, help me, help me gain wisdom. Help me gain wisdom. Son, S-U-N, and S-O-N, S-O-Ns. My sons don't speak to me, so it's hard to gain wisdom from them, at least directly. So where has all my wisdom gone? I never had any myself, so it left when they quit talking to me. Dudes. This is something I just absolutely, truly hate to report. But everything's going just fine. How can it be so fucking stressful, so fucking worrisome? How can people commit such crimes against you? And everything's just fine, I mean, it's been 2 years since they took our car away, and then trying to set up this service for disabled people, it was just a huge nightmare. And then in the end, when I communicated with them, this is a person who no longer works there, probably for good reason, I said we weren't going to be able to make it due to our disabilities to travel there to have an in-person interview back in the day, and they sent me my the application that I had worked so hard to get to them. And they said, well, when you get transportation, and this is for transportation, you guys, then when you can get here, then we'll, do this. And so for another year, we didn't do anything because we're like, how in the hell are we going to get in for a transportation thing without the fucking transportation to do it? And we learned that later, that no, they're supposed to give you transportation. And I'm like, well, they didn't. So sometimes people just don't like me, and I gotta tell you, I don't understand it. Okay, I do not understand it. I will just say, putting Buddha, Gandhi, and maybe Jesus to the side, I am the greatest person who ever lived, and I cannot even understand why anyone wouldn't like me. Okay? But I will say I have, people either love me, which is really nice. I like that part. or they hate my guts. And that part isn't as fun. So, finally, a new worker, we got a hold of the new worker who replaced the old worker there. And she said, well, now it's COVID, and we can do this interview over the phone. And then later after COVID, we can do an in-person interview. But right now, you get the transportation. And I'm like, is this for real? 2 years of fucking headache and heartache and suffering and going to doctors and having them fill it out and then going back and having it having them fill it out some more? You know? You know what I mean? And then how sending it there, faxing it there, was a fucking total nightmare. We went all over town begging everybody to fax it. And finally, it got faxed there, and she said, you didn't come in here for your appointment. I sent it back through the mail. It's like, oh my God. I have suffered and suffered and suffered and suffered to fucking do this thing. And now it's worked out. So, I mean, it's like, it's worked out. This lady, I'm going to name her. Her name is Flora. Is wonderful. She's like, I don't know why that happened. I'm like, people just don't like me. But I didn't say that. I said, I think it was either a situation where she wasn't being very nice, or she didn't know what she was doing. And we just not started over. We didn't have to start over. This lady accepted the whole shebang. That all the work that I had already done got accepted. I just had to wait for 2 fucking years to do it. Yeah, that's our apartment complex. And it's really, truly one of the prettiest and nicest apartment complexes in Santa Fe. And absolutely the nicest low-income one. Like HUD public housing one. And you know, I mean, I went in there to sign the lease, and the lady told me, the office worker, I'll call her an office worker, not a lady, but she might be a lady. I didn't say she's not a lady. I said, I'm not calling her a lady. I take that back. So she told me that we're on a month-to-month lease, which honestly, dudes, is fucked up, okay? And I said, no, we're not. And she said, well, yeah, you are. And I'm like, no, we're not. And she said something about we have to sign it or whatever. She didn't say those words exactly, but that's basically, we were there to sign our annual lease recertification. And she said, well, you know, you have to sign it. I said, no, I don't. I don't have to sign no fucking, the technical term might be inequitable, lease with these people who have retaliated against us. She wasn't there. But I said, you better make sure that, she said, I have to do what my boss tells me. Joanne Holman tells me. And I'm like, if your boss is telling you to do something illegal, you are culpable. You're responsible for it. And that's not good. And so later she reported that I was inappropriate in the office. I'm like, of course I'm inappropriate if I stand up for myself. I could think of a lot more inappropriate things I could have done. And every time they use that word, I'm like, I know what inappropriate is, dudes. And that wasn't it. So. And so, you know, we've been stressing for a month about this shit. And I woke up this morning going, what if there's nothing to worry about, you know? They haven't said, you know, you're going to get evicted if you don't sign this. They haven't said, you need to get your ass in here and sign this. They haven't said anything like that. They've said nothing at all, really. What they have said is that the Tenants Association can't place our newsletters on the doors of everyone's apartment, where, Monarch Properties does all the time, because we're soliciting. That's a lie. I mean, that's not true at all. And they're trying to break up the Tenants Association or keep it from happening. And they did cut down our garden, our community garden. It looks damn fishy to me. But when I called a number, not legal advice number, but kind of a help line on eviction legal shit, they were like, well, did you get an eviction notice? And I'm like, no. And they're like, I think this can wait until next week, then we'll talk to you in more detail. I'm like, okay, I'm like, if this isn't an emergency, what is? And then if it's not, and it's not, given, I'm like, maybe it's not, I don't know. But if it's not, and it actually really isn't an emergency or a real stress-riddled situation, then I need to fucking relax. And I'm not saying, that's the thing. I'll relax until they slap me with a fucking eviction notice and I have 3 days to figure it out. And I'm trying to line up all these people to help and support, and if they're all going, well, it's not a big deal, then I guess I don't need the support, or I'm not getting the support that I do need. And I'm doing a lot of praying about this, chanting, chanting Nam Myoho Renge Kyo, about this. And because sometimes people hear the word pray and they go, oh, Christian, and that's not my religion. So, but I'm using the word to try to communicate to people who might not be Buddhist, and help them understand what I'm doing when I'm chanting, I'm praying. And when I'm praying, chanting about this, I'm saying, what do I need to do? And the answer is, go get coffee and relax. So I'm walking over here to get coffee and relax and actually do a little work on my schedule, writing it down for the first time in my fucking life. And Darren, yesterday I was all stressing with you guys because he had a threat of, a certain amount of relapse and a threat of more relapse, okay? He didn't use any substances, but he got nutsy, okay? And so I left and went to Starbucks, and he was threatening, I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to go do that, bad stuff that he shouldn't be doing, because you need to be letting me do that. And I'm like, I'm letting you do it, you just can't live here and be with me if you do. Because the fact is, the guy needs to stop doing that stuff. And so I was all stressing about it and all this shit. And then, I threw myself into the work I had to do yesterday. And then, and I got it done. And then he communicated with me later that he was just playing the trumpet and gonna go buy groceries. And so I went around the corner and met with him, and I was so proud of him because he had an emotional relapse, but not a so much of a actual relapse. Okay, so getting nutsy is a relapse, but he could have done worse, and he didn't, and it was really quite spectacular. And I'm like going, is there anything to worry about anymore? People are dropping dead all over the fucking place. COVID's killed 200,000 of us United States citizens and made a bunch more sick. And people are hiding in their houses, afraid to breathe, and someone we know. I mean, people I know have died through this, none of them from COVID, which is really weird too. It's like, it's not just people who are getting COVID that are keeling over. It's other people. And a neighbor got killed, and that's terrible. And that hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm like, what, is this real? And I'm not saying it's not real, but I'm saying it provokes the feeling of it not being real. Like, you go into shock and you can't fucking believe it. And so I'm trying to make sense out of this shit. People keeling over and kicking the bucket and stuff like that during this time, and leaving people to be in sorrow and to suffer. And it's like, and then I wake up and the birds are singing, and the cat probably just killed and ate one, but the birds are singing and the sun is shining and the music's playing, and people who are setting up my colonoscopy, I was so pissed, and I told Darren, he got so pissed about it. Like, I'm saying, hey, can you accept my ride that I've got set up through this ride service for disabled people? And they're like, no, we can't accept that unless you want to do your colonoscopy without any anesthesia. Where have I ended up? But, and I called back and I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going to do that part. I said, I've never even had one, so I don't know. Maybe, in the future, but I think I should probably try to have the fucking anesthesia. So then she calls back and says, oh yeah, as long as they take full responsibility for you. And I'm like, what the fuck else would they do? Drop me off on the side of the fucking road? Yeah, but I'm not going to tell them that. I mean, yeah, actually, this new one, I'm hoping they won't. But what I'm trying to say is, it's possible. It's happened to us. And so I'm like, well, what the hell? Why are Darren and I, like, Darren's wishing a bomb to drop on Santa Fe because they won't let me go get my colonoscopy without, with anesthesia and with prearranged travel. Transportation, not so much travel, but it's traveling if it's not in a vehicle. This is a Apache Plume and Chamisa. Apache Plume growing out of the Chamisa. And this is some huge fucking Chamisa. And then when I talked to her, she's like, oh yeah, that'll be fine, as long as they take. But I'm like, what? So Darren and I were all upset and angry and pissed off and wishing ill on our very neighbors, not her literal neighbors, but our neighbors, the people who live in Santa Fe, because they this colonoscopy thing, and then it turned out to be fine, and I haven't even gotten to tell him yet, because he had to go and do his therapy and come over and play trumpet, but it's like, they're injustices and shit. They're bad injustices and shit. Taking our car away, that's fucking injustice. And yet, 2 years later, we still don't have our car, But just like this Santa Fe ride thing, we're gonna get the car back. So, and it's gonna work out. It just takes lots of time. It disappeared over, it wasn't even in the night. It was in the afternoon. They took the damn car when we weren't looking. Didn't provide a notice on the window, didn't boot it like they say they will. They just fucking took it out of retaliation, which is against the law. They know it's against the law, and they've still gotten away with it so far. And they know it's against the law because I've told them. And I'm not, it's not constant that I tell them, but I have told them regularly and through different avenues so that they would hear it. And they've heard it, but they haven't respected that. And everything's all right. Hiking over to Starbucks, getting a fucking cup of coffee, and it's all working out. It's weird. I don't understand how God could allow a kid, a young man, to get murdered right over there. I'm not showing you where, but just right over there. And then it's all okay. I don't get it. I don't know how that's going to be ever true, and what kind of fucking God, I'm sorry to be like that, would be like that. I don't get it. It's like, I'll off your kids and your family and friends and shit, but it's all okay. It's like, I'm not getting it. I'm really at a loss, and it makes me angry, which is not okay. There's some pretty flowers and foliage at the back of that truck. See? They're still good in the world. Maybe the guy driving it is a fucking psycho, but in the back he's got pretty flowers. Stuff for landscaping. That's nice. But, I don't get the contradiction or paradox of life where they say, that horrible thing happened, and that horrible thing happened, and that horrible thing's happening, and that too, but it's all okay. It's like, what? I don't think anyone's actually saying that, but they have said it, and it's still conveying to me that way. And I don't get it. It's like, man, it's hard to calm the fuck down in a world where that shit happened and believe that it's all okay. Pay attention to the lights. I'm wearing a stocking cap the way I always do. It's hotter than hell. I would wave at people for stopping, which I usually do, but then it's like, well, they're supposed to stop. Anyway, so I'm all negative, and that's the problem, is that I could get so caught up in this fucking negativity, and really, for my heart and my health, I have to stop it. It is biochemical and stuff, but even so, you have to work at it. I mean, pills aren't going to solve it. And if it's the wrong pills, it will not only not solve it, but it'll make it worse. So I've got pretty good, medications and stuff. There's my baby. I'm so glad. So we'll come up and say hi to him again like we did yesterday. And, I can't say how proud I am of my sweet baby. I'm just so proud of him. So he's made a lot of damn changes lately, and drastic ones, to be honest, and I'm proud of him. So, and he needed to, but in a real reality sense, he didn't have to. I mean, in a spiritual sense, he didn't have to. In a reality sense, he did. But well, thanks for listening. We're on. Hi. We're on. Are you done playing?
No, I haven't even started.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
You just got done with your therapy? Okay. I'm going to run over to Starbucks for a while and And then you'll meet me over there.
Yeah.
And if you don't get there,
do you need anything from Dollar Tree?
I'm
not gonna get it now. I just had a granola bar.
I think I'm okay. I'm gonna eat a snack over there.
Okay.
Because I haven't had anything yet.
Yeah,
but coffee.
you gotta eat something.
Okay, you can show him me because I told him about my hat.
Ooh, well, this is my baby in blue.
Yeah, it's in my
Looking like a rock star.
pants.
Rock star pants, rock star bag, rock star hat, rock star.
Yeah, he
you
goes
look
my
beautiful,
rock
babe.
star.
Yeah.
He's drinking a rock star, right? And he's wearing Star Wars.
Rock Star Wars.
Yeah.
Rock Star Wars.
And they were like, yeah, as long as they take full responsibility for you, Santa Fe Ride can pick you up, and so can your insurance. And I'm like, what did I miss? And it's like, everything's fine. Yeah, try to process that
Okay,
shit.
I don't know. I'm just bowled over on a constant basis.
Yeah.
My stupidity.
Yep.
Welcome to Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Come to Santa Fe. It's a beautiful
To
place.
Santa Fe. Welcome to Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
Hey, this is cool.
I won't play for more than an hour, and then you can
Okay.
head back, so
It's probably, I don't know what time it
you
is.
want to be well ahead of time.
Yeah.
Rush, but
Okay, you'll come over there, or if I feel antsy,
Yeah.
I'll come back and get
yeah,
you.
I'll come over there though.
Okay, love you. See you
Alright.
soon.
You have everything?
Yeah, I've got what I need.
Okay.
Okay, I just don't have you, but we'll have a break and then we'll get together soon.
All right.
Okay, love you. Okay, bye-bye. Man, when I have equine therapy like I have today, I get so fucking wiped out, man. And now I'm walking about as much as I normally do when I have equine therapy. And, but it's not the walking that's killing me. I mean, not killing me, but I mean, wearing me out, exhausting me. It's the equine therapy. That shit's exhausting. I'm like, I don't remember getting this tired before when I had equine therapy. I'm gonna just walk on past that piece of litter. I don't like doing that, but sometimes it's just like, I need a break from picking up litter. I'll do it the rest of the day, I'm sure, but more often than not, I think I pick up litter. No, I don't pick up stuff like that most of the time. That liquor bottle. But, but yeah, I don't remember in the past getting so exhausted from equine therapy. But I'm practicing a skill that I am definitely not used to. And it's exhausting to me. What's the skill, you ask? Okay, the skill is about grounding my emotions in the earth. Let's try it right now. Here's some earth. And we let the stuff, the energy, come down and into the earth. I've practiced it quite a bit, but I'm not good at it, dudes. And you center and, ground your emotions. And then you use your emotions or your intent to lead the horse. Last time it was without any sort of like rope or bridle attached to the horse. It was just the lunge whip, which you stand in the middle with the lunge whip, and the whip doesn't mean you whip it. You don't even touch the horse with it. And then you use the whips to signal to the horse to go forward, to stop, to turn around and go back and stuff like that. It's like, well, man, this is nutsy. Cool. It was cool as hell, but and it worked, But what I didn't get, I get it, but I don't I have a hell of a hard time with it's exhausting. I don't know how else to say it. It's just totally exhausting. It's like contrary to my ability to get all caught up in stressful shit. So I better put on my mask. Okay, dudes, I'm at Starbucks. I'm gonna turn you off. That's some EMS workers over there. The cops also hang out here like crazy. Okay, see you in a while.